So I want to believe that this day God has brought it to pass, that we may all come together and see and know and understand and consider together that the hand of the Lord has done it. So please join us in praising God and worshiping and just having a joyous moment.
Someone told me one time about tea for one. So I was having tea for one for a long time. And many other things, I mean, I could say that are funny, but I'm excited to have tea for two now.
For my case, it took longer before I found somebody to get married to. So getting married at this age is a big victory for me, and the Lord has removed my shame and changed it, or my sorrow, or whatever you may want to call it, into a season of joy and jubilation. So it's to share this time of victory, and yes.
Well, it was Melissa's wedding, and Frank Mwangi, he'd asked if I would host because I'm always having folks over at my house, and I had room for it.
So Frank, my cousin, had made arrangements for a place for me to stay for that weekend, and it happened to be Jackie's place. And Jackie also happened to be the coordinator for the wedding. So that's how I met Jackie for the first time.
Lady that was preaching, who is a prophetess, I had never met her, and it's the first time she has come, and it's Prophetess Mwaka Twagira Yesu. And after she finished the word, she said, for some reason the Lord says today I need to call all the single ladies to the front for prayer. Hearing this prophetess saying, "Woman of God, come to the front. Woman of God, come to the front." And I'm just thinking, my eyes closed. Women of God, go to the front. And suddenly I feel my hand being touched and pulled to the front. I look up, and it's prophetess. She was talking to me unbeknownst to me. And then she starts talking. So by this time, I'm already like a little discombobulated because I didn't really think it was me who was being talked to, and so I wasn't prepared. And she says, but God has a word for you. Have you got your wedding dress ready? Do you have your colors picked out? Which to all that was no. Mm-hmm. And she gave the word that God was doing a quick work in my life. He was bringing a husband in my life, and this time everybody's shouting. I can't even process the information. Everybody's so happy. I think a few of us ladies also just got together, and we're just like, we need to really pray and ask God. Like, we just felt like this was a turning point in our lives where we needed to ask God if marriage was something He had for us, how and when, and if this is the season, and for Him to prepare us and actively get us ready for marriage and to bring somebody. And so we basically were praying, and we asked Apostle Supeo if he would come speak a word over us and pray over us, in which we didn't realize how serious he took it. And so one evening he called a meeting of the ladies who were praying. He called a meeting, and that evening he just basically spoke over us as God had led him when he had been in prayer and fasting for it. And it was shortly after that really that things started changing, and David said something, and before you knew it, we're here. In 2012, when Prophetess Mwaka called me to the altar and gave this word. One of the things that he had said, one of the things she said was, my wedding would be planned for me. David went back to his church and told them, and told his pastor he got engaged. His pastor said, let's make this happen, you know. No, May 7th.
May 7th, we got married in the East Coast, in the church where I used to attend, Hope Community Church, Allentown, Pennsylvania. And we were officially joined in a holy matrimony by Pastor Emmanuel Surez. We had a beautiful ceremony. The brethren from Hope Community Church really owned the event because God had put us together, me and them. I was a blessing to them, they were a blessing to me. And because of the fellowship and friendship we shared, they stood with me at that time of planning a wedding. It was a small but very joyous wedding, full of jubilation and godliness and anointing. And we thank God that now we stand here in Bethel.
Yeah, have a small wedding where it would just be David and myself and our best man and best lady and the pastor. It went to that, from that to the whole church at Hope Community had taken a role in more planning it. And in the meantime, I'm in Washington going, I don't understand what's going on. And so really some friends who were there in 2012 when the word was given, that then say to me, do you remember the word that was spoken over you, that your wedding would be planned for you? And do you remember that it was said it will happen really fast? And I just started laughing because in the commotion of everything, it was like suddenly my eyes again were opened to when it was said that it will happen very fast. In my idea of thinking, and I think in many people's ideas of thinking, was the next day the man would be in my life. But this was now 4 years later, and between the time we were engaged and between the time we exchanged vows, it was a really short time. And so that was just, you know, God's joke on me in a good way.
The focus of all this is to give this is the moment in our lives to give God praise for the way He has come through for us. So we had one in the East Coast of USA. Now we're here having another one on the West Coast of USA. God willing, in a few months we'll have one in the East Coast of Africa, because we have all our brothers, cousins, nephews, uncles, aunties who are also very happy for us. So this is halfway the celebration. One more to come. One big one in East Africa. So glory be to God.